Coming up on HRTV Rewind.
But this is a one-horse race, and that one horse is Ultimate Eagle.
He jumped on the bridle like a sprinter, and from there on, he just continued his long stretch.
It was just like, please just let this horse be 3-1, and he was.
And Prospective from absolutely last, and he's in full flight down to the wire.
Star Guitar going on to his 4th straight championship win. Here is one fine-tuned Star Guitar.
Hitchens a half head in front, Krypton Factor battle back, they split it. Ooh, noses separating Hitchens and Krypton Factor.
This is HRTV Rewind, taking a look back at the racing week.
It's Derby time, representing the Derby wear here, and Kentucky Derby 138 coming up. We've just launched the new website, KentuckyDerby.com. So I'm out here kind of checking out all the California contenders. Big day of racing, and just sort of catching up on everybody out here as we're still a ways away, but as you know, now is the time to start really paying attention to a lot of these horses.
Right now, at this time of year, if you had to put one into your stable, who are you going to pick, Jill?
Throw me under the bus. Well, I've got my Derby top 10 up on the KentuckyDerby.com website, which I have Liaison on top right now. And a horse that won last weekend in Florida, not Algorithms, but El Padrino, who won the allowance race there. Really like that horse. I think, though, it's early right now. We just sort of kind of put them all in there, mix them all up, and they're going to sort themselves out. It's Derby, it's Oaks time, and it's an exciting time for all these 3-year-olds to step up and just follow them along and follow the connections as well and the stories behind them. It's just a lot of fun.
Did you order more 3-year-old prep races? Because the waiter just arrived at the desk. We're going to Tampa Bay Downs. Take a look at the Sam F. Davis Stakes. This is a grade 3 with $250,000 on the line. Graded stakes earnings important this time of year, and a full field of 11 signed on.
Well, look at the names under the jockeys and the trainers that are opting to be at Tampa for this storied race. It's getting to be a pretty decent prep.
Here comes Battle Hardened down the center of the racetrack. Inside the final furlong, it's Reverend, and Battle Hardened on the outside is charging, and Prospective from absolutely last, and he's in full flight down to the wire. It's Battle Hardened. Prospective is surging late, but it's Battle Hardened to take it.
Where is a horse's withers? The withers also at Aqueduct.
Yes, the withers at Aqueduct. Well, the withers is where the pommel of the saddle, where the horn on a Western saddle would be, base of the neck.
Withers are used to measure a horse's height.
No, we've decided to join the rest of the world and get involved in the old Triple Crown chase a little earlier than usual.
How democratic of you.
Well, that's the way we are. We're always thinking of other people around here and decided to have a graded stake, and we've moved the withers here in February. I wonder how long it's been since we've had a couple of graded stakes on a card here in February. And the name of the game is Alpha here. I don't think they're beating this favorite. I think if you're trying to beat him, you're going to say, well, I don't need a short price on a horse that likes to act up badly at the gate. Maybe the gate opens and he does something really stupid. Being on the outside probably helps him. Not having a horse on his right flank is probably to his advantage.
Could you have been more happy of how this race looks on paper?
No, it looks like a great spot, and I'm happy that we drew now 6 of 6 because he has acted up in the gate both of his last 2 races, so we won't have to be in there very long today.
Have you seen the kind of progression you'd like to see from Alpha since his 2-year-old campaign?
Yes, he's done very well. He's a light-framed horse, light on his feet. He's done very well. The only concern has been the gait, and we've worked with him a lot in the morning, but as so often it happens, they know the difference between morning and afternoon. So he acts up a little bit in the afternoon, and he's great in the morning. So hopefully he's learning his lessons well. Ramon knows him a little better now. And like I said, 6 of 6, he won't be in there very long.
And Alpha has swept to the front. It's Alpha in front. How Do I Win battles on in second. Then it's Spite City, Hakamuran on the outside. It's Tiger Walk. Alpha leads by 3 with a 16th out. Then Spite City and How Do I Win. And Alpha has won the Withers as the big favorite here. Alpha by 3.
It was hard for me to tell how much horse I had, or if any, really, which is a great thing. We approached a half a mile, and from then on I had to put a little pressure. There was somebody trying to come clear, and he jumped on the bridle like a sprinter, and from there on he just continued his long stretch.
The long-term goal looks something like this.
Unbridled taking command. Saichi Pegasus with huge stride. And there's all Barbaro.
Exactly 3 months from today, the 138th Run for the Roses. So how strong is the West Coast contingent this year?
Out on the outside. Canada's going to win the show.
Today, the road to the Santa Anita Derby continues. And with out of bounds on the sidelines, the attention turns to Bob Baffert in not one, but two Kentucky Derby hopefuls.
And Liaison coming home stylishly, handwritten in the end. Sky Kingdom, it looks like he could go around again. He's just loping home.
Standing in their way, a colt who is a photo away from perfection. 36 opponents faced, 35 opponents defeated.
They come for home and it's Chips all in. Chips all in, flying for the wire.
And Liaison's nemesis. It's not quite affirmed in Aladar just yet.
Liaison just in front. Rousing Sermon trying to gun him down, and he's got a good chance.
But this could be the start of a beautiful rivalry.
Liaison, Rousing Sermon, Liaison! Yes!
The Grade 2 Robert Lewis Stakes. It's Santa Anita Park.
They come for home and I'll have another kicks away. I'll have another opening up to lead by 3. Oh, losing the rider here was Liaison. Liaison got squeezed between horses and lost the rider. But it is I'll have another coming home to win it easy. I'll have another and Mario Gutierrez win it by almost 3.
He's always been a very incredible, talented colt, and we had the faith that we'd take a chance in here. And I think, in all honesty, we thought he'd hit the board and move forward, and he just ran unbelievable. Mario gave a great ride, and thanks to Paul and Zilla for making this all possible. He's a beautiful colt.
I think we got a treat earlier in the year. We saw a horse by the name of Mr. Commons, which I think a lot of people, and I share the theory, if they stay on this type of path, the Breeders' Cup Turf Mile could be dangerous for this one.
I mean, he won like a beast. You know, this is something. Look at him. I mean, he's in hand. Now Mike Smith ducks to the inside. He splits horses here. And he's just toying with this bunch. You know, how good is he? And John Sheriffs was very, very confident going in. Look, I mean, he's winning in hand. And we'll find out how good he is, that's for sure.
He sees a hole on the inside. Mr. Commons been confidently ridden, going to go through on the inside. Willie Conker's coming flying, but Mr. Commons now given his head. He strikes the front. Down the center, Willie Conker. Mr. Commons, though, very, very nice ride by Mike Smith. Mr. Commons wins at a length. Willie Conker's second, then Masoni and Calamanco finish fourth.
You know, honestly, I felt I was clear. M1 Rifle was backing up. I certainly couldn't wheel out. I felt like I was going to bother somebody, and I thought I had enough, you know, room to clear to the inside, and I did it, and he accelerated so quick. You know, if he wouldn't have, he might have bothered the other horse, but I felt like he accelerated so quick he got out of the way.
Folks who are saying to themselves, you know, I like Tapizar, but is there value in the race? I think he got a kind of an X factor, and that's a horse that's making a dirt debut named Ultimate Eagle.
Yeah, you know, he won the 1.25 mile Hollywood Derby, a Grade 1 over there at Hollywood Park. They shortened him up here to a mile, and he just didn't have that punch through the lane. So I think maybe the jury's going to be kind of out on him. He is changing surfaces. They have said all along that they really thought this was going to be a Kentucky Derby horse when he was 2 coming 3, but they had some minor issues, so that was all put on hold. He's a very, very good horse. Mike Pender's doing a good job. I hope he bounces back, and if he does, he'll make anybody in there run.
You tried the dirt for the first time today. Simple question, why?
You know, I ask myself that question, and normally I really try to stray away from that conventional handicapping. Usually I just kind of throw horses out and make them prove it to me before they can make that transition from the turf to the dirt. But this isn't any old horse, you know. I think there's exceptions to every rule, and this is such a nice animal. I mean, you saw him before he made his first start, Zoe, and you said, "Who is that?" You know, so I know definitely this horse breaks tradition, and we're going to take it a shot. I mean, it's a tough shot that we're going to take, but I really think he's up to the challenge.
Jay Cito has the back class.
And Jay Cito has taken the lead, and Jay Cito wins the Norfolk.
But that was a long time ago. Ultimate Eagle is a Grade 1 winner.
Ultimate Eagle goes all the way to win.
But can he handle this surface? And Tapizar is the one to catch.
And a big performance from Tapizar and Corina
Rocketani as they romp in the San Fernando.
But can he run this far? The answers just moments away.
Top of the lane in the Strube, and Ultimate Eagle the one to catch. Ultimate Eagle being very confidently ridden here, just having the rein shaking at him. Ultimate Eagle's clear by 4 on the inside, Jaycito, and then comes Tapazar. But this is a one-horse race, and that one horse is Ultimate Eagle. A sizzling performance today. Ultimate Eagle and Martin Pedrosa romp in the Strube.
I really wanted to let Corey take the lead because he's like the quicker horse. But my horse breaks so good, and I tried to see behind it, but my horse, he was just very keen to go, and I don't want to choke him down. So I kind of just let him relax, and when I see Corey horse can't get away from me, so I just throw my horse loose a little bit, and I open up on him. And after that, he did it all.
He runs his race last time, Case Electronica. His entry made Cali Brachoa the better half of the entry, may be in trouble. I think the match race, honestly, Joey, might be those two horses. Candyman E is a horse with potential. He's going to have to run a lot better than he did in the DeFrancis Dash. I know he got a big number, but you look at him overall, and he's just not as good as Cali Brachoa. I mean, Cali Brachoa, he's not an aqueduct horse. He's winning these races aqueduct because he's just better in his competition. I mean, the best race he ever ran was arguably the race at Saratoga when he finished less than 2 lengths behind Sean Avery and Trap Shot. I mean, those are serious horses in a serious race. He's too good for these.
Diskey's Dance has got the lead. Cali Brachoa all out on the outside and getting closer. And now Cali Brachoa has taken the lead from Diskey Dance. Kaisha Electronica moves up into third as they pass the 16th pole. It's Cali Brachoa with the lead, and Cali Brachoa will take the toboggan.
I'm a huge Nicole H. fan. One of my biggest regrets last year was she didn't stay sound, because I think she had every right to be as good as any filly sprinter in the country, and I think her trainer, Mike Hutchin, would agree. I don't like the way she hung last time. You know, she looked like she was clearing the lead and going to win easily. It'll be interesting to see if they've made any changes to her blinkers today and whether or not, you know, things will be different, because she did sort of pull herself up on the front end. Maybe she's that kind of horse, but she's too good for these horses.
Nicole H. looking to come on through now. Golden Mystery is taken over, but here comes Nicole H. at the rail. Nicole H. up to grab the lead from Golden Mystery, and Nicole H. strides away. She's going to stay undefeated on the inner track. Nicole H. wins the correction by 3.
Coming up on HRTV Rewind.
Does this horse ever go out of form? That's Never. The question. He hasn't lost since he lost the Gold Cup here in 2010, and that was kind of a fluke.
As long as he keeps sound and keep going, we'll have fun with him. Our partnership, we have a lot of fun, and we enjoy the horse, so it's going to be fun today, hopefully.
You're watching HRTV Rewind.
To the outside, it's Star Guitar, now set down by Corey Lannery. We have a 2-horse race. Star Guitar digs in, snug his game every step of the way on the inside, but Star Guitar gets the upper hand, and at 1-5, Star Guitar wins his 3rd Louisiana Premier Night Championship.
Looking for his 4th Premier Night Champion Stakes win. That is amazing. At age 7, what was the decision behind bringing him back to race this year?
Well, first of all, Star loves what he does, and anyone. I'm not just saying, you know, our team with Al Stalls Born. I'm talking about anyone that stands at that fairgrounds. They stay along the fence line and watch him work. When Star's out on the track, you can always count there's a crowd around watching him. He absolutely loves what he does. I think if he walked out there by himself, he would stand in the same spot for about 20 or 30 minutes, look at everyone on the track like he knows them and he's been to high school with them. He just loves it, and we really want to let him do what he loves to do. And besides, we do feel that he is positively the best horse that ever lived in the state of Louisiana thus far, and would like to give him that opportunity. You know, you're not counted on as the best until you have overcome the top earnings and money. But as far as we're concerned, he's number 1.
Does this horse ever go out of form? That's
Never.
the question. He hasn't lost since he lost the Gold Cup here in 2010, and that was kind of a fluke. He's been on a winning streak ever since, made over $1.5 million. He won another Gold Cup this year in the fall, so he won in 2009 and 2011. Now, he won down at Fairgrounds last time out on Champions Day. Now he comes to Delta Downs to win possibly his 4th Louisiana Premier Night Championship in a row. That's unprecedented. He's an incredible horse. It's just so fun to even just watch him step on the track.
Star Guitar. It's got about 4 lengths to make up, rallying alongside I'd Like a Double. They have straightened away. Populist Politics up to grab the lead, but here's Star Guitar, and he just engulfs the leaders. Star Guitar going on to his 4th straight championship win. Here is one fine-tuned Star Guitar.
The main goal is, for me, I like to go win the Dubai World Cup. That's what the goal is for me. And come here and win the Breeders' Cup would be a big thing also. So that's what I'm looking forward to. As long as he keeps sound and keep going, we'll have fun with him. Our partnership, we have a lot of fun and we enjoy the horse. So it's going to be fun today, hopefully.
Any instructions to Chantal? Tell her to do a thing?
No, just let her ride the horse. She knows what she's doing.
Game On Dude finding more on the lead with 1/8 of a mile to go. It's Game On Dude still well clear. Game On Dude by 4 lengths. Bango's not making any impression. And it is going to be Game On Dude and Chantal Sutherland to take the San Antonio Stakes very impressively.
Well, I think that's something we have to all sit down and see how he reacts from this race, how he comes out of it. You know, he ran pretty hard today. I think Chantal did a great job of not panicking when he didn't break, because he's known for that. And she just found her little seam, got him running, and they were going pretty rapid up front. But this horse, once you get him in that high cruising speed, he's so dangerous. If you grab a hold of him, he's just not effective at all.
Cut for home. It's Exclusive Love. Here comes Agora on the outside, and Cortana is following her. The 2 favorites are bearing down. In deep stretch, Agora absolutely explodes under Javier Castellano. In front and going away. Exclusive Love is still there for second in the game effort. A furlong to run. More Than Love is there toward the rail. Up on the outside, Dixie Strike in full stride. And toward the rail, Regalo Mia. Down to the wire in a blanket finish, and they're 4 across the track. Too close to call. Dixie Strike might have got up with More Than Love. And running time on the board, 1:43.1.
Coming up on HRTV Rewind.
And on what she did in the trial for this race, it's very, very difficult to see her being turned over. I think she probably has a stranglehold on the race.
My mounts were going. I got more experience, and I felt like I got better every mount.
You're watching HRTV Rewind.
The races as quick as they are, and then the eventual goal for many being the Dubai World Cup. From what we're seeing in the races and what we'll see on Friday, in your opinion, how many of the horses are, quote, strangle-holding, getting ready for the big night, or are they all just going all out race to race?
I think they're going all out race to race, Pete, probably because of the amount of money on offer. You'd be mad to pass up the amount of money that is on offer. But, of course, there's the golden chalice in the future. You're chasing the Holy Grail, the big money that's available on Dubai World Cup night. But if you can pick up some of the cash that's available on the way, that's fine. And I think, you know, any trainer probably has it in his mind, let's pick up what we can and hope that eventually we will get a knock on the door or a phone call to say you're invited to one of the big races on Dubai World Cup night, and that will be the creme de la creme. But you can't afford not to try and capture the prizes that are along the way.
Terry, earlier in the card, the running of the UAE 1,000 Guineas, and an intriguing race if you are a fan of Gamalotti. Godolphin Racing, first time going a mile, was disappointing back in York back in August, but not disappointing at all. In fact, very impressive last time out on January 6th.
Yeah, Pete, I think the depth of 3-year-old fillies for the carnival this year is not well, it's not particularly deep, let's put it that way. And on what she did in the trial for this race, it's very, very difficult to see her being turned over. I think she probably has a stranglehold on the race, and it would be hard to see her being beaten. Of those she's opposed to, those she's raced before, particularly here in Dubai, I can't see them turning the tables. The depth of 3-year-old fillies is not huge, and she does look to be the winner.
Into the home straight, 300 to go. They're stretched right across the track. But here's Gamalati. She's lengthening well. She's gone from last to first in a matter of strides, and she's drawing away. This is a fantastic win by Gamalati. She's real class, and she's going to go on and win the UAE 1,000 guineas as she likes.
Hitchens under the whip coming at them. Aloe Pure is running on, but she's still 3 lengths off the lead, and Hitchens descends. Hitchens on the outside. Krypton Factor battles back. Fallon gets something out of him, but Hitchens hits the front. Hitchens a half head in front. Krypton Factor battle back. They split it. Ooh, noses separating Hitchens and Krypton Factor.
The first thing that went through my mind was at the photo finish was a nose, and that's close enough. And then the second real big sweat was I was $11 behind going into the last race of the day for the contest, and I needed the horse to be not only to win, but to be 3-1 and pay more than $11 to win in place. And it was close. It was close on the line, and it was close, when they posted the final mutual. So it was just like, please, just let this horse be 3-1, and he was. So while I'm watching it, every time I see the race again, I just get crazy goosebumps. It's just a crazy feeling.
Father in Panama right now for some treatments. How is he doing?
Well, I've been he's been contacting me every day. He's saying the surgeries are going good. Everything's going good right now. It's a 1-month process, so he's just started right now in early February.
How scary was that situation? That had to be, especially for you wanting to be a jockey, to have that happen.
Right. The accident happened like a week after I got to Panama. So, me getting there, it was a big decision for me, if I wanted to keep on doing what I was there for. And, I try to put everything aside and, just concentrate on that. And I went to go visit my dad, it was really painful seeing him there laying there. And, I just kept on one goal, and then that goal was to finish the school and learn everything I could, work as hard as I can, and hope everything went well. First race was a great experience, The racing in the U.S. is nothing like in Panama, where I was learning. And my debut in Panama was good. I came in 3rd in there. And my first race at Gulfstream, it was a good experience. It didn't go so well because I was nervous. I was really nervous, and and then past my few mounts, my mounts were going. I got more experience, and I felt like I got better every mount that went by.
That's all for Rewind this week. Here's a look at what's coming up next week on HRTV.
I've been watching Twitter all morning, and people are talking about G-O-D. Can you tell me about G-O-D?
I don't know what Twitter is.
Now, on your website, I believe you have some kind of fantasy league going on. What can you tell us about that?
Yeah, first you've said hot, and now fantasy.